Blanca Perez.
Okay, and you live here on Vine Street.
Yeah, I live on the corner, almost at the corner of 23 Vine Street.
Okay, and you got a couple little guys out here playing in front of the house.
Yep.
And how do you feel about Miami Valley Hospital's plans to put a parking lot in on this corner over here?
I don't approve of it, because I've got little kids, as you see yourself, they're out here playing, and that's going to come with a lot of traffic. And then my kids are not going to be able to play out here. Where, I mean, right now, for the most part, there's not a lot of traffic, and it's pretty safe for them to be out here.
Yeah, we got bicycles coming down the street, and it's pretty mellow.
All day long like that. I mean, there's all kinds of different kids in this area, all different age groups, and they ride their bikes up and down. Some skateboard, some ride their scooters, some roller skates, and that's going to be a big problem with all the cars coming in and out.
You'll be all the time on it.
Exactly. Like right now, I mean, even though we're off of Main Street, it's not a really busy street.
Yeah.
With that parking lot coming in, yeah, it's going to be really rough for these kids. I don't want it at all.
Jean Doherty.
Jean Doherty.
Mabel Brown.
Mabel Brown, you're a longtime resident of Vine Street.
57 years.
Okay, and what are your feelings on the proposed Miami Valley parking lot at the end of the street? Not good, huh?
I think it shouldn't be done. I see no reason that I see no reason in it. Period. They're just taking up more space is all, and I was over there a couple of days ago, and it doesn't look to me like there's, you know, it would do anything for them. It'll do a lot against us.
Yeah, it's not really that big of a parking lot or space as far as to...
The space is not, no.
So you don't feel the use of that space is worth like the damage it'll do to the community?
Right, yes. Yeah. That's the way I felt when I was over there looking at it, and it just looked to me like they're just taking up space that just to take it up. Okay. You know, not for any good reason.
If you could send a message to city commissioners right now about how they vote, what would you tell them?
Well, my personal opinion on it would be, I see no sense in it, and I don't know why they would vote for it, just to tear up our neighborhood.
We're here with Janet, and on Vine Street in Dayton, and I first came to know about you through you had spoken at a city hall meeting about, or a city commission meeting, I'm sorry, about Miami Valley's plans and wants to construct a parking lot in your neighborhood. And tell me about that and what's going on now.
Well, Miami Valley Hospital has managed to get rezoning for this parking lot that they claim they need, though they've never substantiated any numbers supporting that need for parking. And we are down to the last two hurdles that they have to cross before they can start up with the construction. It's been a very frustrating process because people have not been critical of their request in any way. They said we need parking. No one asked them how much they had or how they came to know that they needed it. They just said they needed it, and the city's position has been we need to support these businesses in our community, period. We have a small residential neighborhood here that's been struggling for a long time, but it is still a community. And we have kids on the block. We are going to be bringing a lot more traffic. Vine Street would be this way where we are now.
Yeah, here, let me get this a little closer to here. This is a plan of the parking lot that's to come in. I think that's just about right. And
so this residential street will have traffic coming in from both ends that will go right over there across the street, down an alley, and into this proposed parking lot. It's a street that's 3 cars wide where most people park on the street to begin with, and there have been no traffic studies done, which you would ordinarily have before you put in a parking lot like this. And no one's been willing to answer the questions as to why that hasn't been done either. Really frustrating.
Miami Valley seems to be on, at least in the last few years, a kind of massive, seem to be usurping properties nearby, almost as they're planning on getting much bigger. But
Well, they're cagey about that, but I've worked in hospitals all my life, and they always have 10-year plans, maybe even 20-year plans that they're working against. And they have a tendency to get on that track and just keep rolling, even though the world maybe has veered in a slightly different direction. They built Miami Valley Hospital South. They've got 112 beds down there right now. They have a capacity there for 400, and that's according to an article in the Dayton Daily News quoting Bobby Gerhardt, their CEO. They're planning to move another 62 beds down there by, I think, 2012. And they're going to move another 200 jobs there. They need so many beds, that would be by 2017. In addition, they've purchased a building downtown, I think it's 101 North Main Street. It's a building with a parking garage, where they're planning to move 700 jobs in the next 12 to 18 months. So you would think that with all of that coming up, they're going to be needing less parking in the future rather than more. I don't see what the rush is to pave this corner, but in fact, the City Commission agreed to let them have the zoning and the parking lot under an emergency ordinance, which is what happened in May.
Yeah, did you see any kind of emergency yourself, like, or did Miami Valley?
Having been an emergency nurse
Yeah.
most of my nursing practice life, I pointed out that I didn't see any emergency, but it was more of an expediency. They said they wanted to be able to pour the concrete before winter. So they're pretty confident that they're going to get this, even though they say they're going to take more public comment. It doesn't say they're going to really consider it.
How do you feel it's going to, I mean, obviously you feel it's going to negatively impact quality of life on this street. In which ways, other than traffic coming through, or, yeah, I mean, do you foresee it, dirtier?
The character of a neighborhood, if you have businesses on the ends of the streets mixed in with residential, is very different from if you just have a big slab of asphalt on the end that has bars around it. It looks like a giant car jail. We don't want it.
You've communicated with Mayor Leitzel, I take it. How?
Mayor Leitzel was somewhat sympathetic to our cause and has offered to facilitate a dialogue between the hospital and some of the other entities and the people in the neighborhood. But we're not able to get that meeting arranged before the next two hurdles that would get the parking lot. So
if the meeting was had, it would be null and void.
Well, largely moot.
Okay. What do you plan on doing now? I mean, there's two more meetings. What are you urging citizens in this neighborhood? Are you like, you have a group together? What exactly is going on?
The people in the neighborhood who've been coming to the protest and to City Hall and Planning Board, hopefully will be showing up at the Southeast Land Use Committee meeting this Wednesday at 6:15. And the following Tuesday will be the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting at 3:30 at City Hall.
And you urge everyone in your neighborhood?
Everyone to let the commissioners know, let the plan board know, let anyone know that we're not being fairly considered in this matter.
How do you think this, what do you think, like people in other Dayton neighborhoods, not necessarily in this one, I think it's important for them to get out or possibly write or call City Hall? How does this affect all neighborhoods, I guess?
Well, Miami Valley Hospital touts itself as being a very good neighbor, and I'm here to tell you that for this neighborhood that hasn't been the case. So I think I would say I would consider maybe going to a hospital that is a better neighbor.
Okay. Have you had any communication with hospital officials?
Other than Mr. LaChance, who really has been the problem all along, I have had one letter from Mary Busalis, who's CEO of Premier, and she said that she would be sending him to the meeting with Mayor Leitzel. So that's not very encouraging.
Okay. Why is it not encouraging?
Well, because she's sending as a representative the representative that we've already had all the problems with.